So as you guys might know already, there are a lot of forgotten vehicles in Jailbreak. Some of these vehicles have actually been in another video of mine where I talked about the most underrated vehicles. So yeah, I'll go ahead and put that video up on the screen. You could watch it after this one if you'd like. And yeah, let's not waste any more time and let's get into this. First up here we have the Posh. So the Posh was the original convertible and it was found at the front of the museum. And I believe it costed around 70,000 or so it was a pretty decent vehicle. And actually it still is a pretty decent vehicle because the speed isn't that bad. In fact, it's probably one of the best vehicles for its price. I mean, just look at it, 150 miles per hour plus. It seems to be going up even higher, so it's a pretty fast vehicle. And for the time this vehicle was made, it looks very, very good. I mean, it has to be one of the best looking vehicles that came from 2017. And this was also the first convertible in the game, so yeah, pretty unique vehicle, and it's also a pretty good stamp in Jailbreak history, I guess. But yeah, that's the Posh. It's a pretty decent vehicle, and it's kind of underrated, not gonna lie, but yeah, pretty forgotten. Next up here we have the SWAT van and the Wraith. So these two vehicles are locked behind game passes. The Wraith is locked behind the boss game pass, and this one is behind SWAT. And yeah, these vehicles aren't really that good. I mean, they're literally at the bottom of the most popular list in the Jailbreak spawn menu. I mean, just look at this. It's literally at the bottom of the list. The SWAT van is literally at the end. And yeah, the performance on these vehicles are just not the best for the amount of Robux they cost. Like, honestly, I feel like they should be a little bit faster, because obviously you're spending like 450 Robux on this vehicle. Let me go check the price of the SWAT van because I believe it has gone up recently. And yeah, the game pass for SWAT costs like 400 Robux now, and the boss game pass costs like 300 now, so it's pretty expensive. And don't even get me started on the minigun. Like, it just sucks. Look at this. It's literally shaking my camera like crazy. It's like impossible to get anyone because of this incredible camera shaking stuff. It's just, look at how much it's shaking my camera. How am I supposed to hit someone with this? The only way you could make this an actual good gun is by going down here to your Roblox FPS unlocker and capping your FPS at 30. Then it's pretty good, but still, the damage isn't the best. And it also takes forever to cool down, so honestly, it's just not a really good weapon, and it's probably gonna get you arrested or just killed by a criminal extremely quickly, not gonna lie. But if you're still looking to buy one of these vehicles, I definitely recommend getting the Wraith just because it's a little bit cheaper, but still not really worth the Robux. And honestly, these vehicles, I understand why not a lot of people use them and just don't remember them much. Next up here we have the ATV, and right off the bat, some of you guys might be thinking, well, Super, how is this forgotten? Lots of people use it. But yeah, that's true until they start getting better vehicles. Like, for example, we might have a new player that uses the ATV literally all the time, but once they start getting the better vehicles in the game, they won't use the ATV as much, because obviously it's a vehicle that goes at literally 40 miles per hour. Who would want to use a vehicle that only goes at 40 miles per hour and costs literally $50,000? It's a horrible price for a vehicle like this. Even with a level 5 engine, it's barely getting to 90 miles per hour, and honestly, the top speed on this thing just sucks. And don't even get me started on the off-roading. It literally just flips on every little bump you go over. Just look at that. I'm going over something and it literally does a backflip. Like, which off-roader does that? Literally, which off-roader does that? And this thing costs $50,000, and honestly, for 50k, you could be getting a jetpack, and you would be able to do much more than you would be able to with this. But nowadays, even new players don't really use this vehicle much, so honestly, it's a pretty forgotten vehicle, and honestly, I understand why it is. There's literally nothing special about it, and literally everything about it is just garbage. Next up here though, we have the Ferrari, and honestly, this is a very good vehicle, and surprisingly, not a lot of people use it and even know about the Ferrari now. Well, at least until you remind them that the Ferrari exists. Other than that, not a lot of people know about this. And honestly, this is a very good vehicle. It costs only $200,000 and it has the ability to reach 200 miles per hour as well. It's just amazing, and I think they actually buffed it in the most recent update, so it might go a little bit faster now. And yeah, as you guys can see, with a level 5 engine, it is about to reach 200 miles per hour, and there we go, 200 miles per hour, and it's still going actually. Yeah, it's a pretty good vehicle. It looks great, the handling is great, all of that is just absolutely amazing, and this thing costs only $200,000 if I didn't mention already, so it's very, very good. So yeah, this is a very underrated vehicle, and it's also just really forgotten, and I don't really know why. I think it's because there isn't really enough spawns for this thing yet, and the spawns that this vehicle has aren't really that popular. Like, not a lot of people go to the airports and the train stations anymore and really see this vehicle, so I guess they should probably add more spawns for this thing in more popular locations so more people know about this. Because honestly, the Ferrari needs a little bit more attention. Like, honestly, this thing costs only $200,000, and it's just amazing for its price. But yeah, that's the Ferrari. On to the next vehicle. Next up here we have the camper van, and honestly, I could understand why this is a forgotten vehicle. Like, it's literally just a camper, and the performance isn't really the best. So honestly, I kind of understand why not a lot of people care to remember this vehicle much. There's still quite a few people that use the camper, but honestly, other than that, I don't see lots of people using this. And yeah, another thing about this, the front of it kind of reminds me of like a train of some kind. Yeah, the camper looks kind of like this. I mean, just compare them side by side. Like, do you see much of a difference? Like, there's the little thing in the middle, and then there's the lights there, there's the windows. They look identical. But yeah, that's camper. On to the next vehicle. Next up here we have the ambulance, and honestly, this is a pretty good vehicle. I believe it only costs like 90,000 or so, and it's very, very good for its price. It has the ability of healing players, and the speed isn't the best, but I mean, the healing ability kind of makes up for that. This was added in the 2018 live event where they revamped the city, but yeah, it's a pretty good vehicle, but it also isn't really a good vehicle. It's kind of in the middle at the moment, but I'm looking forward to a revamp for this thing. It should be coming in the next few updates, because obviously this is one of the last vehicles that need a revamp now. But yeah, that's the ambulance. On to the next vehicle. Now, the next vehicle kind of depends on what type of player you are. If you're a troll, then you'll probably remember this vehicle right off your head. But if you're not a troll, you probably forgot this vehicle exists. And it's the fire truck here. The fire truck is one of the most forgotten vehicles in Jailbreak at the moment. It's barely used, and honestly, it's just a useless vehicle. And why is that? Well, its only ability is to spray water at fires and put them out for literally only $140. Like, that is useless. It also has a ladder, but the ladder barely works properly, because if you try climbing up the ladder, you'll just go straight through it for some reason. I don't know why that is, but it's Jailbreak now. Climb up ladders and fall straight through it once you get to the top. Yes, very realistic, great game. And it also flies now for some reason, okay. But this thing costs $175,000, and for that price, it's horrible. Like, it's fast, but it also isn't really that fast because the acceleration is garbage. I remember once on stream it hit 200 miles per hour, and I was just freaking out because I was like, wait, what? The fire truck hit 200 miles per hour? How is that possible? If I can find a clip of it, I'll go ahead and put it on the screen here, but if I can't, then yeah, then there's no clip. You'll know. Oh my god, this is actually, I need a screenshot of this. Oh, we almost went 200 miles per hour at the fire truck, my guy. He dead. He dead. The off-roading on this thing is decent though for some reason. I don't really know why, but the off-roading is kind of nice. But yeah, other than that, horrible vehicle for $175,000. Like, literally, there's literally no purpose for using this other than trolling. But like, all streams I've joined have the fire truck disabled, so there's not really a good chance that you'll be able to use this to troll streamers. I bet $2 million in Jailbreak that not a lot of the new players in Jailbreak actually know about the fire truck yet, because ever since the April update, the spawn of the fire truck has just been hidden in the corner of the airport over there, and not a lot of people notice it. Here's a quick summary of the fire truck. It's good for trolls, but just horrible for everyone else because the trolls will be using it on you, and it's also just a horrible vehicle for you. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.